Okay. No, yeah,
Hello.
hello.
Yes. The big Sammy B. Can you hear me?
Can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you live and clear.
Okay, fine. I'm good.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good. Right.
Cool. I
So
mean, I'd like to make sure if
for
you
those of you who
know
have
what.
actually been waiting for this program, finally we're here. And I've got my brother. I prefer calling him Kwame Bampo instead of Sammy B. I want him to feel at
Yeah,
home.
yeah, that's
I'm
okay.
actually anyway.
That,
So live on Hits Africa Radio. When very soon we're gonna come on tune in as we're having some technical hitches. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're live, and my any of the options I'll update you what they are very soon. But Kwame Bampo is my guest tonight. He's a broadcaster and then a musician. You can add a DJ specifically to it. It is my pleasure to host my brother. My name is Dr. Morton. You're very familiar with this radio station. Most celebrities, especially in Ghana, have passed through this particular medium. I'd like to, first of all, welcome you and thank you very much for availing yourself to come on the
oh,
show. Sammy.
it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. It's
Yes.
always a
So,
pleasure. Yeah.
how have you been? How has Sammy B been? My brother Kwame Bampo. How are
Well,
you?
some, some of these, okay, some of these been good. Some of these still been doing what everyone knows he knows how to do best, you know. So we thank God. I mean, once I'm here being able to have this conversation with you, then it means that, you know, I thank God, you know, I'm living by grace. Yeah.
Good, 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 good. Now, first of all, for those of you, I know that you have been around. I mean, during the 90s when radio was at its peak, to be honest. I don't want to make
Yeah.
it look as this time around, radio is not. But if you
Right.
compare times when the radio in Ghana, as far as I remember, the days of Tim Akwahi, when he used to be the in charge of Ghana media, it was about just few radio stations. Now, just in Greater
Yeah.
Accra, you have 100 radio stations, right? So, as I said, my
Mm-hmm.
guest, Sammy B. So, who is Sammy B? Let me officially put it this way, especially those of this contemporary times would get to know who I'm talking to.
All right. So, Salima is a fun-loving person, loves entertainment, loves all genres of music, and loves broadcasting and also loves to entertain. I mean, overall, Sammy is a bit of a quick fellow as well. And Sammy is someone who's been in the industry for just about, let's say, 25 years and counting, and still finds time to do, you know, a few other things that basically that makes him happy, like music, broadcasting, and you know, DJing and entertaining the public. Yeah.
Mm. Right. So let's look at where Sammy B's childhood, kicked off. Let's see where you grew up, how, where you come from, and then on and on.
It's funny. Well, I was born in Kumasi. That's what I heard. Meanwhile,
You were born in Queen.
me,
Okay.
that's what I heard. Yeah, because my dad was a professor of librarianship at the tech campus, right? So
Okay.
that's why I I was born in Kumasi. Meanwhile, my name is Sunny B, which is the short form of Samuel Bampo or Bampo, depending on who is saying it. And my mom is Fanti from Sopond, and my dad comes from Nikopon. Sometimes I'll be like, I'm from Ikopo. My mom will be like, I'm Jimama. But I think I'm from Ikopo. Because I have that name. So I have some have fancy inside me, and I have half of Ikopo as well inside me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Growing up,
Good.
I've actually hopped from different, towns to different towns. So some part of growing up was in South Pond when I used to live with my granny. When I was very, very young, then I lived with my granny. That's when I would go and sell, dusting powder and in Kumawa after school. And I've also lived in Takrady. That's where I actually set my common entrance in Takrady, which is housing down, if you come. So I left Takrady in 1986, and then I came to Accra to start from one in '86. Yeah, so I went to the Legal Secondary, and from one to my fifth form, which was from five in 1991 thereabout, and then I got to Presec. Yeah,
Oh,
and then I
coincidence.
did. Coincidentally, we are the winners of the science and quiz, and everyone wants to be a part of Presec. There's no one to Presec, but it's always an opportunity, to be able to blow, trumpet and blow your house. I've been seeing on social media. We do have girlfriend and ex-girlfriends of Presecers, all claiming, part of the victory. Uh, Girlfriends, ex-girlfriends, but on the posts that they've been putting, I've never saw a template like slave queens of Prosecco, but I mean, we take it like that, we manage it.
Coincidentally, Presec, the seventh trophy award. I'm sure it gives you this day was going to remain as a memorable day for you, especially when they won.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
let's go from there. So you went to school, and let's talk about what got you driven into radio. Any passion? Is it just passion, or anybody you were looking up to that induced you into it?
Way back then in Tema, I used to follow a lot of music and sound systems. And so following lots of sound systems and music got me to involve myself with, listening to KKD, Pops on the Move on GBC, and, also got me physically involved in some DJing or spinning, as they used to call it, right? That was
Yeah,
with Radio 7. And Radio 7 at that time was a sound system that also ran Club for Lisa Community 7. And it was run by Dr. Mauli, the doctor of music.
right.
So I had the opportunity to be at Radio 7 studios when people came to record their TVKs and Maxells and Sonys and what have you. We were the ones who sat back to list the title, the songs, on the emails, and so I got acquainted to listening to a lot of music. And when you have access to music, it also gives you a lot of access to instrumentation. So then definitely when you have instrumentation, you want to sound like an artist, or you want to rap, or want to do some dancehall with them. So the rap, the love for music and everything like that started from Radio 7. And also that is where I had the opportunity to do a few some MCing, because way back then, Hebi, who used to do at, also in Tema, was the one who was the MC at Radio 7 when the club was in session, and some of us also got the opportunity to come behind, and anytime Hebi was a little bit free, then we got the opportunity to also handle the mic and
I remember very
toast
well.
the toast the crowd, yeah, and toast
I
the
remember.
crowd. Ah, yeah, those were the times that we used to go out.
Yes. That's right. Everywhere there was programs. I mean, we went over. There were a lot of fans, and you remember there was
Yes,
from when they were organizing things like street carnivals, like five the ones Sue and
yes,
those things.
yes,
Yes. Anyway,
yes,
those
yes.
were more of a social intercourse. Let's look at the radio as a profession when you sat behind the mic, and that feeling
Mm-hmm.
that you started or kicked off the journey, which has always been your passion.
Mm. Okay, so radio itself was, in the mid late 1990s when I had the opportunity to visit, Sunshine because KKD had
Mm,
seen me perform at, several events and had asked me to show up because there was a new radio station and he wanted me to come and try my hands on, a program. So I went in there and then I was taking, then I met like, the line of
mm,
Kwame Fachi, Fifi Pratt, Kwabena Peku, Paul Adumochi, Randy Abu, and the whole squad, Baba Ando, and the whole Charles FM squad, Kofi
yeah.
Dixon,
Yes. John Jay,
Kofi Dixon,
Ade,
John
and so
Jimmy, yes,
Jermaine.
yeah, Ajima Adabu, yeah, Ajima Adabu, Carlos Verdazi,
Yes, Carlos
yeah,
Vaz. These are,
Jimmy Ajito,
but then Yampo Franca
Jimmy
was doing.
Ajito, the late Jimmy Ajito,
Yes, yes,
yeah, was his soul, and very young, set of talented individuals,
mhm,
pulling up to, push and, run those on Sunshine. And so that's how it started. And
yeah,
then, like someone made a comment, then I was Afro, and I was the chancellor, Samibi the chancellor, and
right.
I had blends of reggae music and all kinds of genres on my show, but especially reggae music.
Mm,
So that's where the word presentation actually, began officially.
mm,
Yeah, man, because the chancellor was Republican kind of DJ, will come in and make reggae music.
yeah, yeah,
You understand? Yeah. I would learn English and part of everything, They will come in strong. Because it was one of those earliest things when loads of people are actually the whole pidgin and pattern and all of that, to disseminate information. But we did it. That's
So where from the that patois gift that you had? Because from the look of things, I mean, we're not Jamaicans, and then you were so good as I wrote in my feature. You were so good.
mhm.
Unlike now, when it's become something all over the place. I mean, you were solely just a few of you. If
Yeah.
not to say just on your own, I didn't know who else was doing as good as you were. Where from that? Did you learn it? Did you live in Jamaica or where from that?
No, man. No, man. I never lived in Jamaica. But see, when was then in a stage where, Benson like this cropped up his head,
Mm,
and popped up his head, So it was just by dint of, going to listen over and over again to a lot of tunes. Arm Cells, Capleton, Rainbow Alarm, Tesson, all of them tuned. Shabarangs and Cutty Rangs and Supercat Apache Indian, and all those tracks, and so you get acquainted with the lyrics, and you also make it a part of you because you also present reggae music. So it's like instead of sounding like the way I'm sounding now, you must try sound this way. See, well, sounds because it just makes the reggae look nice and well presented and everything. Yeah, so we started learning how to do everything there and make the package the reggae to become very presentable and you know, much more fun, to enjoy and listen to. Yeah. So there's nothing like going to Jamaica. No, man. I we just picked it up and then we worked on it over and over again. Yeah, man.
Right. Right. So, I mean, you did all that until the Big Brother Africa thing came in. I'm sure that's what gave you the wider scope of fame. I mean, all over the place, we got to know who Sammy B
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
If you had not given us
yeah,
Russia behind that, apparently that was going to shoot
yeah,
you, especially across Africa. Any
yeah.
reason apart from the fame that you got into that?
Big Brother, I got into it out of curiosity. In the first place, it's something that I really didn't know a lot about, but was told by a friend who thought that from the way they described the event and the way she knew how very, like cool, free, you're very like down a little bit and funny and engaging, I could do it. So she never told me about it, and then I asked her to bring the forms so I could fill. So I mean, I actually did it out of curiosity,
Okay.
but it was when it was I was chosen with one other person as the two finalists from Ghana, and the two of us had to fly to South Africa for just 3 days for a friend to realize how huge it was.
Right.
Because we were sitting in town and then being told that on Monday we're going to SA and you're just going for an interview and then you are coming back on Thursday or on Wednesday or Thursday. And we're going to stay at the Monte Casino and this and that. I was like, whoa. That's when I realized how huge it was, But primarily, I went into it as, a curious, individual.
Mm, I see. Right. So after the Big Brother Africa, how
Yeah.
did you see yourself? Could you have told that, look, you think people have gotten to know you much more than you had, expected? Were you like everywhere you go, people were like, well, so this is Sammy B, and did you tell that the fame you had was it very practical as you had assumed?
Yeah, it was. It was. I can give you a story. So I once went to Lagos to meet a friend, right?
Okay.
Who was also in Big Brother,
Right.
the Nigerian friend. And when I got to Mutala, it's when I tried calling him and he told me he had left Lagos. And so I had to find my way back to Ghana because I was like, well, you should have told me before I came all this way. And so I was trying to sift through the other, documents I had where I could have a return ticket because then I used to go in and out of VI and that. So I was sitting down trying to figure out how to come back to Ghana because it's not easy just getting to Montreal and quickly getting another flight back.
Right.
So then this man passes by with, I think, his driver and some other people, just who is suitcases. He passes by and just reverses and stands in front of me and say, Sammy, Abby? I'm like, yes, sir. Oh, Sammy. I don't know myself. That's what he said. I don't know myself. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, because my family everybody was very happy. What house? Then
Yeah,
I
man,
told
but
him.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Then he said, that's it, man. Okay, so why don't you come and spend it in my You don't have my ID card, you can see it. My name is Chief, this and that and that. We're happy to have you. So instead of coming back to Ghana, I ended up staying in Lagos for let's say
Oh wow.
a week or 2 months. So I mean, that answers the question. That told me that much how people actually, like he said, in his words, knew me more than I knew myself. So it clicked. It was like, wow, this thing really has, put you in the homes of so many people who now relate to you differently than before.
Right. Right. So now the radio, you weren't only doing radio. You became not just somebody who takes pleasure in music. You became a musician, and then with coming up,
Yeah,
that when you started, coming with the albums and singles, or because until now, I still
yeah,
see you're still doing music. As I'm going to play along the line,
yeah,
intermittent as we're going on.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just released most of the songs that I've released before were singles. I put them together and then made duplex and mastered copies of the old one out as an album, and it's been out for just about let's say 2 3 weeks counting. And the whole thing is just part of me. I mean, I found it very comfortable and easy to make music, and I've also wondered if I'm not very good and comfortable with it, so why not give it some more attention? So that is basically what the plan is like now. So to give music more attention, because I'm able to do it effortlessly, and I think I should be able to take advantage of it. It doesn't really mean that I would have to be a very popular household musician or whatever, but it also means that I can do songs and put out there on streaming platforms and still go about doing my broadcasting and farming and just having fun.
So, with the time that I calculate, I'd like to believe you've done radio for over
Hmm.
20 to 25 years, correct?
25, yeah. 20 to 25 years, yes.
5 years. Because I remember all these days. And if you
Yeah.
look at the journey till now,
Hmm.
how many albums, singles you've actually made so far?
Uh, since I started, I've actually featured for a lot of people and have done music for fun. But if we talk about just putting music on record, I think I might have let's say 20 that I have some that I've actually not even added on this new album. Like, some tunes I did with VIP, Danny Best, a couple of them which I
Yeah,
intend
you featured a few.
work on them, work on them and put out. So I have quite some tunes. I have some uh, Mugi's, Artumis,
Yes,
another
yeah.
one I put out. They've been, yeah,
I wrote that Sammy B, in fact, you initiated this, patois copied Ghanaian accent from Jamaica. You make it sound real. If you look at these contemporary guys, the Shatawale, Stoneboy, and
yeah.
Samini, I don't you think they get to your
Mm,
target,
mm.
your, your standard of being able to to exactly copy the patois language?
So say that again.
What I'm saying is, if you look at the way these young, successful, what they call
Mm,
dancehall music,
yeah,
with
yes,
Shatawale, Tomboy,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
Samini, with
yes,
the way they sound, would you say
yeah,
they sound clear patois as you had done
yeah,
back in the
yeah. They're good. They're extremely good. They're extremely good. You see, the thing is I think that it's subjective. The most important thing is to be able to communicate to your listeners or your fans. So any kind of communication that really works for your fans is good. But these examples that you've mentioned are so very good, extremely good. I mean, for example, Stoneboy, yeah. Because I mean, I've had the opportunity of seeing him you know, move from, strata to strata and get to where he is now. And so he's exceedingly good. Yeah, and Shatta, yes, very good as well. I mean, Samini is one of the godfathers as well. I mean, he's born, he's paid his dues, and he's still doing exceedingly well as well.
Okay. Right. So let's listen to this recent one of yours, which the Passing Through album.
Yeah.
Innocent people back him up. One day their end wanted by police.
Wanted by police.
Bad man crime must cease. No God knows when we'll not again from northwest, south, east, and west. Anytime they come around, we have the happiness. Yes, we'll have your bodies, so it's all about the girls.
This is actually my favorite. I really love this song. So, sorry?
The Girls tune, right?
Yeah, that's right. I really love the song.
Yeah,
so,
man. Yes.
these ones that you put together recently.
Yeah, these are the ones that I put together recently, and when girls, and Batman and Police. Yeah.
I see. Any story behind that? Is it something that has pragmatic story behind it?
Well, Batman and Police is because I like to follow the storyline. Because people don't really care how a lot of people make their money, and whether by good or foul means, some people are healed because they also provide for some other people, and then when those people become giants in society and they are not working, it comes to a point when everyone comes to see that they are bad men, and then they'll get into the grips of the police. So it's like one day for Tiffman, one day for Master, kind of, dialogue I put in Batman and Police. So, you can do. I also mentioned the fact that politicians always have a way of enticing, the populace. And when they also even say nice things to the police, and promise them that they give them guns and cars to fight crime. And when they get into power, then you find out that even the criminals have more sophisticated weapons than even the police. And it happens almost every time. Every time, different governments, it happens. Yeah, put the police to do the Ghana big English. To strategically empower the encompassment of the forces of crime fighting, and then they get into power and then they forget. And then now you realize that even the bad people, the criminals have more sophisticated weapons than even the police. And so it was part of those things, So it's and just also to tell the politicians, to let their use be you and their name be me. So that was Batman and Police.
I see.
So
is it also like some sort of a mechanism of talking about crime and corruption?
Yeah, man. So if you equip the police, they're going to do what they're supposed to do. If you also take a life of crime, don't tell that you could go scot free, because in the end, you'll be wanted by the police. Yeah, man. Yeah. And then, so that's basically what Batman and Police talked about. Yeah. As for the girls is just an eulogy for women all over the world, all kind of girl. Going on to now, it's like the movie coming to America,
Yeah, I see women find you very funny. I mean, it looks like you entertain them a lot.
Yeah, we talk no, want to know, we have to do concert. That's the fun thing inside me. So we talk small, you have to say something funny. It's just girls, we don't struggle to, entertain. We talk now, something will pop up.
That's right. It makes people funny and they laugh. So let's talk about this day and age with both radio and music. How do you see
Mm.
radio now? I mean, those times, apart from perhaps GBC that had the training school, people were
Yeah.
naturally talented. You know, people were
Mm.
this stuff, and then you had the Tommies, the
Yeah.
so the Charlie,
Yeah.
who were adding people with
Mhm.
particular style of radio. Now it's not
Mm.
like that anymore. I spoke to Gabi, like you said. I mean, they did their best, but I mean, if
Yeah.
you put them now and assess how radio is being run lately, they would have things to say. What is your view? How do you see radio presentation now?
I think really lost its, raw, unadulterated state where it used to be a few people, and it also used to be a privilege to be a radio person, a broadcaster, or maybe an entertainer, because then, and now radio has also lost its basic rules and regulations that governs it. So now it allows people to say anything just because they're very good with speaking a particular language
Yeah, that's right.
to suit. And so radio has also abandoned the kind of, norms that, society kind of
Mm,
affords. There are some parameters don't cross, some borders don't cross. Because radio also, it's about being able to talk within the confines of your culture and
mm,
its parameters. And so now radio is just people would want to talk.
mm.
They don't care whether these things they say are ethical or unethical. But because they would want to make a point or create some form of attention, they say anything. And unfortunately, there are no laws that also calls them into check,
Mm,
or that
mm.
calls them to attention. Radio is become, forgive my choice of
Uh,
this
uh,
particular word, is become
unless, unless,
all over the place.
yes. Now,
It's
mm,
it's not with the exception of a very few. Radio is not really that career that people really used to look up to,
mm,
and hold their head high to be a part of, like it used to be. So
yes,
basically,
that's
basically, if you are not there talking about politics and dealing with politicians from different, sides of the government, then you might as well also be part of those who are just playing music and singing
mm,
stuff. So it's something that's all over the place now.
right.
Unlike when it used to be only GBC and a few, yeah, it's
With
changed.
those when
But
I
it's also changed. But you see, there are also good sides of it,
tell us what it is.
because now, because radio is all over the place, information is quickly disseminated.
Mm,
Just say something today, in the next 5 minutes, it's all over. And you has helped to do this. So like, you say something to do, like I'm speaking with you right now, right? But
right.
people are watching us from all over the world,
I know.
and it's a radio station that is doing this. When I started Sunshine, you don't have no one supporting radio to disseminate information like it is currently. So it has its good sides. Radio has also taught people and educated people to also be able to, come to terms with either the environment, politics, social media, entertainment, and everything. Because whatever happens now is able to go ahead and translate and so many different ways to suit the populace. So it has advantages, and I would think that some of the advantages are very, like, encouraging, but the disadvantages also has those that hurt. For example, radio has given access to almost everybody to be a journalist or a reporter.
Right.
So if somebody needs some information currently, they don't even verify whether it's the truth or not. But then people also do that because they just want to be out there. Whether they are journalists, they are not, they all have access. So there are misinformation or miscommunication or disinformation all over the place.
Another thing I'd like to add to the advantage is this. When we're
Yeah.
doing, um, there wasn't that visual kind of, listening to
No,
radio
no,
until
no.
YouTube's, Facebook's, and all that.
Yes,
Like I said, sometime. I
yes.
think it widens the profession in the sense that even if you're just listening to it on a tuning or maybe on a
Mm,
radio like the GBC
yeah.
host, you could
Mm,
not see the person. Now you can see
yeah.
who is there, and then so the YouTubes and all that makes it accessible, just like you're saying. You can
Yeah.
feel
And it's enticing. Yeah. It's enticing enough to make
this is
people want to, yeah.
yeah. So I'm saying like I said to Poncho, I think it's made it easier, and so it makes it very competitive as well. Because if you
Yeah.
don't have Facebook and you're going to just be on an electronic without the
You
video,
need to be on, yeah.
yeah, you're not going to get listeners.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's
so
true.
now with all these experience in 5 to 10 years, how are we going to see Sammy B with your experience in both the music, the radio, and the Big Brother Africa? I've interviewed people who have the passion of establishing media
Mm,
houses in about a
yeah.
few years to come, and then they can train them. Do you equally have such perspective? Did you get that question?
No. Please come in.
Right. So what I'm
Let's
saying
take
is,
that one again.
with all you have
Yes.
acquired within the space of time, the radio, the
Yeah.
music, the Big Brother, and the passion you had in entering
Yeah.
into these areas of profession, I believe that you would leave a
Mm-hmm.
legacy, with the experience you have to the other generation
Yeah.
coming behind,
Yeah.
that this is
Mm,
what for it to establish to help in this area of profession.
mm, yeah. So, another thing that was involved is we now also want to hold the hands of certain individuals who, as we speak now, are into broadcasting or different spheres of entertainment. I mean, I can mention quite some few. Kwame B. We have some people like we've mentored both like directly and indirectly to music as well. And I think the next couple of years will be spent in doing something different and also getting to inspire a lot more up and coming radio journalists or radio entertainers, broadcasters, you know to do things like the way we've done. I also have that edge also help up and coming artists or even on my show. I have this like maybe Mondays and Tuesdays that I would play fresh songs, and when I scan through social media, I find many artists whose song is interesting. I'll probably discuss it with my wife, and she'll be like, "Yeah, this one is nice," and I'll probably take it over to the office and talk to my producers, and then we call the person, and then we put the person on. Because I mean, you should be able to use your platform to nurture and inspire people and make them feel confident. So you would find it very interesting to know that sometimes some artists, even by the mere fact that I have called them to tell them that this is how I think, what I think about their song, it inspires them to do extremely, well, because they know that, if I said it and I know the parameters of judging a good song or a good whatever it is, then it should be true. So I think the times that is left for us is to do more music. I mean, obviously, I'll do a lot more music. I will, and then just inspire almost everyone I come across, up and coming, coming and down, all those, anybody I come across.
So do you get to a point where you've met somebody and then like you should have done it this way, or you were supposed to do it this way, or this is not done that way, like Antigati in the BBC in the GBC, the training school. I remember there were times when you pronounce words and she goes, "No, it's not music."
Yeah.
Is the C silent is musician, and all those times we don't have them, Lily. You think it has a bad impact or negatively on radio?
If I got you correct, you want to know that I get to the point where people still, make correction and tell you things about some things that you could have done on video. Yes, it happens. It happens almost every time, and because you can't be perfect. I mean, we all learn, and sometimes opinions are like this. What you might have will be different from that of another person, and then if you're able to take in some of these criticisms, you realize that some other people's also holds water. And so you take your bits and pieces, you compare with yours, and then you merge them. Because at the end of the day, you're not doing a show for yourself. You are doing it for everyone to criticize you. Yeah, because what you listen to, and that's who would want you to sound a certain way and tell your story to them in a certain way. So it has to be about them. It doesn't have to be about you. So we try as much as possible to also take in these criticisms, because what we're doing is for the people.
It's very true. Now, your fans here and Europe, all over the world, beyond the borders of Ghana. When I brought you, people were wondering your whereabouts. I mean, where have this guy? Some even asked me if you are still alive.
Well, I am. In flesh and blood.
Like they've not seen you for some time. How? I mean, where are you at the moment? Where you work and your songs and how you want it to be patronized and all that. You want to tell us?
Okay, so
yes.
Now I currently work with Ignite Media. Ignite Media is comprises Metro TV, original 91.9 FM, and original television.
That's where you are.
I do of that. That's where I work. I'm also into communication, PR work for individuals and also for corporate bodies, and then we also taking contracts or any other assignments that has to do with communication. I mean, some of us, apart from doing so very long whatever in radio, we're able to also take some time off to go to school, so at least then we can have something to show for it. I mean, Doc, I've known for a long time, and I congratulate you. I mean, Dr. Morton. That's
now people who go like so Sammy B. As I said, as I know you had some dread on and all that. Now you become a big man, as I can see you. I mean, when I saw a picture the last time, like, whoa, Mami Bampo, the last time I saw you were tinier. I mean, you weren't looking like this. Now you got the pure Big Daddy look.
I mean, people change. People change. What that changes come in, we are comfortable. We just have to look after ourselves well, and that's very important.
Very good for yourself. And as we come to the latter part of my conversation with you, so now, where do we go from here? I mean, are you? What about?
Well, I think that's come on.
Now you work as a presenter in the radio station you're talking about. I think the same question relates to the fact what you're looking forward to be in about 5 years. How are we going to see Sammy B?
Well, 5 years Sammy B is going to be doing a very good music, mentoring, like I said already, and helping people to get on the same platform that I had people put me on. I think I'm going to take a lot more opportunities with the new media and what it's doing for music. So I'm doing music back to back. I think for now, I'm also going to be a very good farmer because I'm also into farming. I mean, I'm a very good grass cutter farmer. So I have a grass cutter farm. It's something that I really love to do. So I have a grass cutter farm, and so that is some business that I really am into. Myself, the wife, we are all into grass cutter farm.
That's quite different from the area of the media and all that. It's quite
Yeah.
different.
Oh yes.
Is it an
That's
area
that's
where
something I've always loved to do. I mean, I've loved animals. I mean, I've always kept. I always used to breed dogs. Way back, we've bred dogs. We've bred freshwater fish for aquariums, koi fish, all the Indian fish and gouramis, and everything. And then now we've shifted from breeding dogs to breeding grass cutters.
you're not going to put the radio down though? You're still going to be an alongside.
No. Radio and the music there. I mean, so if you ask me, my job currently is a grass cutter farmer.
Mm.
You understand? Yeah. I mean, so if you ask me, my job is a grass cutter farmer. The other is my work. I love it. I can't stop doing it. I love it. But like someone has just given me the opportunity to come and talk and get people happy and impact on their lives and then make them know what is going and also professional people to be involved in discussion and whatever. So if you ask me, I'm a professional broadcaster. That is number one.
Right. I know.
Yeah.
I see that. Yes.
Yeah. But then the first job is the one I discussed. I love farming.
All right.
He's giving praise, and then times have changed. He can do no hard work no more. Innocent people can give up. One day their end will come. Wanted by police. Bad man crime must cease.
I really love it.
West, south, east, and west. Anytime they come around, we have the happiness. Yes, we'll have your party, so. It's all about the girls.
Okay, so basically,
Sorry.
you're asking me. Okay, so the songs that I've released are on my page. So I use this opportunity to get people to know what is happening, to also like my page on my pages on social media.
Okay, you want to put them up so people
and
can hear.
stream. My pages are Sammy Bampo, and then Sammy BGH, and on Facebook, and IG.
Okay.
So go like my page. Just go like my page. And then my YouTube is also Sammy GH.
Okay. Right. So finally, what are you going to say?
Yeah, and then my music is like streaming around platforms. So every streaming platform, Spotify, Co-Minimis, every Minimis. That song recorded by Gadi Adite, and that was the first song I ever wrote. And it was recorded by Gadi at the studio done at Labadi. After work, we would meet after drive when we meet in there, and we started working on some of these things. Kasim, and there was another group too.
Was in this.
There were
Yes,
some of the artists that we had way back then. Yeah.
I see. So, what do you want to tell your fans here? I mean, Ghana, your fans are still there, but those of you who are here and then have lost touch with you, couldn't even
Yeah.
know you were still alive. And what I
I
can tell
mean,
them,
I really appreciate the fact that some people took off time from their busy schedules to actually ask questions that you showed me. And I mean, anytime people would want to get to ask any other thing, like I've said, you should just go on my social media. They say DM me. I mean, anything they want. You just go on Sammy BGH, SAMMIBGH, and then ask. Or if there are any like events that has to do with PR communications, mentoring for broadcasting, and what have you. Just don't hesitate. I appreciate you guys for also being for all these years. Just about 2 decades and a half, and we're still going to do God willing.
very well still.
To serve the people and make them and put smiles on their faces almost every time. Yeah. And then my shows on original FM are from Mondays to Thursdays from Ghana time 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And you can also find us on TuneIn, and then our Facebook handle is original 91.9 FM. So it will be very easy for people now who haven't heard from me to keep in touch almost on a daily basis.
Oh wow, wow.
Yeah.
Right, Sammy B, Kwambampo,
Yes,
I
Doc.
want to say thank you very much for
Thank
coming
you,
on the show,
Doc.
and then I
Thank you, Doc.
hopefully
I really appreciate it.
we'll find you one of these days if you come to the England to pay us a visit.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. And thanks to all my fans and your team as well. God
Thank
bless
you.
you.
God bless you too. All right, so folks, this was the very gentleman I spoke to. He's been everywhere for quite some time now. I tried to fish him out like any of the other celebrity we've not heard for a while. But keep your fingers crossed. I've got the lineups of the likes of Kofi Dixon, Odifo, and all that coming up very shortly. I try to bring all these
Yeah.
90s on my show. And so, Sammy, do have a good night. Thank you very much. All right, guys. God willing, I'll see you some other time. Do have the best of the night. Good night.